I'm 94 years old, and if there's one thing I know for certain, it's this. Regret doesn't knock on your door when you're young. It waits, quietly, patiently. And then one day it sits beside your hospital bed and asks why you wasted the life you were given. I didn't always think this way. When I was young, I believed time was endless. I believed apologies could wait. I believed dreams could be postponed. I believed love would stay, even if I neglected it. I was wrong. My name is Kareem. I turned 94 last winter. My hands shake now. My voice cracks. My steps are slow. But my memories, they are sharper than ever. And some of them cut deep. If you're listening to me today, it's because I don't want you to carry the same regrets I did. There are 7 things I beg you to stop doing before it's too late. I learned the first lesson when I was 32. I stopped expressing love. I grew up in a generation where men didn't say, I love you. We worked, we provided, we stayed silent. I loved my wife, Amina, more than my own breath, but I rarely said it. I thought she knew. One evening, she asked me very softly, do you still love me the way you used to? I laughed it off, told her not to be childish. She smiled, but it wasn't the same smile. Years later, when she was dying, she held my hand and whispered, you loved me, but you never let me feel it. That sentence has echoed in my chest for 27 years. Say it, show it. Don't assume people feel your love. The second thing I beg you to stop doing is postponing happiness. I worked 16 hours a day. I kept saying, after I retire, I'll travel, I'll rest, I'll enjoy life. Retirement came, but so did diabetes, arthritis, heart disease. I had money, but no health to enjoy it. One day I stood in front of the sea for the first time at age 68. I had dreamed of that moment my whole life. But instead of joy, I felt grief. I whispered to myself, why didn't you come sooner? Don't delay joy. Life is not a meeting you can reschedule. The third mistake was holding grudges. My younger brother and I fought over land, a stupid piece of earth that now belongs to strangers anyway. We didn't speak for 18 years. 18. When I finally gathered the courage to visit him, I was too late. He had passed away 2 weeks earlier. They told me his last days were quiet, that he often stared at the door, waiting. I still talk to him sometimes in my prayers, apologizing to a grave that cannot answer back. Forgive sooner. Pride is far more expensive than land. The fourth thing is ignoring your parents while they're still alive. I was busy building my life, too busy to visit, too busy to sit and listen to my father's stories that I had heard 100 times. One day, my mother called and said, your father keeps asking when you'll come. I said, next month. He died that week. At his funeral, I heard his friends talk about him, stories I had never heard, laughter I had never shared. I realized something terrifying. Strangers knew my father better than I did. Sit with your parents. One day you'll wish for one more boring story. The fifth mistake was caring too much about what people thought. I wanted to be a teacher. I loved books, loved shaping young minds, but my relatives mocked the idea, said teachers earn little, said business was more respectable. So I became a trader. I made money? Yes. But every time I passed a school, I slowed down. At 74, I volunteered to teach children in a small village. One boy hugged me after class and said, you teach like you love us. I went home and cried for hours, mourning the teacher I never allowed myself to become. Live your life, not the one designed by other people's opinions. The sixth thing is neglecting your health. When you're young, your body forgives everything. Late nights, junk food, stress, anger. But after 60, the body starts collecting debts. At 70, I needed daily medication. At 80, I needed assistance walking. At 90, I needed help standing. Loss of independence is the quietest heartbreak. Take care of your body while it still listens to you. And the seventh, the heaviest of all, stop assuming you have time. I lost friends suddenly. one to an accident, one to a stroke, one who slept and never woke up. None of them knew it was their last day. Neither will you. I used to postpone apologies, visits, kindness, because I believed tomorrow was guaranteed. Tomorrow is a promise no one signed. 3 years ago, something happened that changed me forever. I fell in my bathroom and couldn't get up. I lay there for hours, staring at the ceiling, thinking, is this how it ends? No dramatic music, no final speech, just silence. In that stillness, my entire life replayed itself. Not my business deals, not my bank balance. I saw my wife smile, my brother's laughter, my father's stories, my mother's hands, the classroom I never taught in. Life is never measured in money, only in moments. After that fall, my granddaughter moved in to help care for me. One night she asked, Dada, what's the biggest lesson you've learned? I looked at her, this young soul with her whole life ahead, and I felt an urgency rise in my chest. I told her, love loudly, live early, forgive quickly, visit your parents often, follow your calling, protect your health, and never assume you have time. She wrote it down. Maybe you should too. Because at 94, I can tell you what truly matters when the noise of life fades. It's not how rich you were. It's not how famous you became. It's not how many people envied you. It's how many people felt loved because of you. These days, my world is small. A chair near the window, a walking stick, old photographs. But my heart feels lighter now because I finally say what I once kept buried. I tell my children I love them every day. I hug my grandchildren longer than they expect. I forgive faster. I pray more. I watch sunsets like they're personal gifts. And sometimes I talk to my late wife. I tell her, I still love you. I only wish I had said it more when she could hear me. If you're listening to my voice right now, wherever you are, whatever age you are, please understand this. You are standing in the before regret, before loss, before I wish I had. You still have time to call someone, to apologize, to change your path, to protect your health, to express love. Don't wait until memories become heavier than dreams. I am 94 years old. Something I say is not to sadden you, but to save you. Because the saddest sentence I hear from people my age is always the same. If only I had known earlier. Now you do. So stop doing these 7 things some before your life becomes a story of regrets instead of a story of meaning. And when you reach my age, sitting near your window, watching the sun set on your years, I hope you smile peacefully. Not because life was perfect, but because you lived it fully while you still could.